Lawmakers want to limit how much agricultural land is foreignly owned. Our Missouri Chief Capitol Bureau reporter Emily Manley explains how the legislation would pump the brakes on any foreign entity acquiring any more farmland.
About 0.3 of the state's farmland is foreign owned. A bill moving forward here in Jefferson City would not only reduce the amount of land a foreign entity could own, but it would also prohibit any future sale, which some say is unfair to landowners.
We're going to, as a state, decide what private businesses can be sold to what entity.
Months after a Chinese spy balloon traversed Missouri, lawmakers want to put an end to selling off farmland to those overseas.
And yes, this is a property rights issue because we're protecting Missouri's property.
Last month, the House passed its own version of limiting how much land is foreignly owned. The bill also prohibited 5 countries, including China, from buying any more.
There's already a template in place at the federal government, but we want to make sure that here in the state of Missouri, we have control of that as well.
The bipartisan legislation is sponsored by Republicans, the political party that 10 years ago overrode Governor Nixon's veto to allow foreign ownership of farmland.
Food insecurity is a real thing, and I think starting with making sure that Missouri farmers get first priority on our land is definitely what we should be talking about.
When the Senate took up the House's bill this week, making changes to restrict any foreign entity from acquiring farmland moving forward.
Would you be okay with Nazi Germany buying the entire?
Some argued this takes away personal property rights.
A foreign entity that wants to come in and buy farmland in this state
So you
has to go to private property owners and say, will you sell your property to me?
So you're okay
and what
with
we're doing here right now is saying we're going to take that decision away from you.
Some countries with the biggest ownership of land in Missouri include China with more than 42,000 acres, New Zealand with 16,000, and Spain with 13,000. Nearly all of China's land goes to Murphy Brown of Missouri LLC, formerly Smithfield Foods, a major hog production company. But this legislation would require countries to report to the Secretary of State and the Attorney General.
We are going to put prohibitions of who in the world are we going to sell to? Are we going to sell to Osama bin Laden?
Under the bill, land already owned by a foreign entity would be grandfathered in. Current state law says that only 1% of Missouri's farmland can be owned by a foreign firm. This would reduce that down to 0.5%. The bill now heads back to the House. Reporting from Missouri Capitol Bureau, I'm Emily Manley.